So I've been sitting on this video for a while now. Welcome everybody to the Milan FIFA 22 ratings predictions video. I've been doing this all the way back since FIFA 16. I think I've done it every single year, and I'm gonna continue to do it till the day that I see that you guys don't care anymore. But let's take a look at my ratings and predictions for Milan in FIFA 22. Now, I'm taking into account their season. I'm taking into account their start, the past two games. As a lifelong Milan fan, I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible. I try to play it like EA because last year there was some ratings that were a little bit low. So I try to take that into account and to be as realistic as possible with these ratings. Starting off with Magic Mike Magnon, 83 overall, won the French Championship with Lille last season. He's been good to start the season. He only conceded 1 goal in 2 games. He's been playing very, very well. I'm excited to see what he can bring, but a top talent coming from France, just won the Ligue 1 with Lille last season, and he's already shown some good qualities in goal, and I can't wait to see it. So that's why I've given him 83. Next up, we do have Simon Kjær. Now, I was toying with some overalls for this guy. I know EA, and like I said, guys, I'm trying to do it as EA as possible. Sometimes when a player gets 30 and older, they just start downgrading them for no reason. But this guy had a fantastic season. He had a fantastic Euros. I know he did score an own goal, but this guy was just rock solid at the back. I think he's gonna get something like 83, maybe pushing 84, and you're also gonna see some players with maybe 2 different ratings on their card, but for Simon Kjær, I think 83 is perfect for him. Next up is Fikayo Tomori, 79 overall. One of the reasons I've only given him 79, yes, he had a fantastic season, and he's only continuing to do better, but this guy is gonna have bags of potential. So I'm seeing something like 79, 80, maybe pushing 81, but 79 is a safe bet for me, but a ton of potential. Young English, had a fantastic season, and I can't wait to see more from Tomori. That's why I'm giving him a 79, and I think EA would actually do somewhere along the lines unless they just overrate every player, but 79 is what I'm giving him. Alessio Romagnoli, the, I guess, still captain of the club, but he's not playing, so the armband is on Davide Calabria, but didn't have the best of seasons, injured and all that. I personally would have given him something like 81. I still do think he's a good center back. He is a little bit on the slow side, but he does his job when he comes in. After that injury, he looked like he was struggling just a bit. I'm hoping that he can bounce back from form. I think 82 is what I'm going to be giving him, but I think maybe EA around 81, 82, same thing like me, unless they didn't watch Serie A and they're just going to give him the exact same rating as last season. But Romagnoli didn't have that good of a season, struggled with injuries, struggled with form. So that's my reasoning on giving him an 82. Next up is Gabbia. We didn't see much from Gabbia, but he played a few seasons ago when we needed him. I think a 70 is fine for him, maybe pushing closer to 71, 72. We'll see what EA gives him, but I just feel like I didn't see enough from him to give him an accurate rating. We'll see what happens with Gabbia, see if he can play, especially with the amount of games we have this season. Next up is Theo Hernandez. Finally got called up for France, and I'm also basing it on their previous ratings in FIFA 21. I think he was in the 70s, so that's why I've given him a big boost to 83, maybe even 84 with his performances. Who knows, maybe even 85 because EA sees that we're in the Champions League, but I'm thinking 83 with bags of potential, and Theo Hernandez is fantastic. This guy is quick. This guy is great attacking. He's even getting better defensively, but Theo Hernandez, 83 is what I'm giving him. And then we have the new signing, Ballo Touré. I've just based his rating on the current rating he has in FIFA 21 at this stage. I didn't really see much, but I think he's going to be around 73, 74, maybe 75, depending on what EA give him, but I haven't seen enough about him, and he's just going to be a good replacement for Theo Hernandez, or who knows what he's going to be. Next up, we've got Davide Calabria. Fantastic season. This guy was ridiculed a couple of seasons ago. Okay, maybe he wasn't the very best, but this guy really found his form. Really, like, honestly, from what he was a couple of years ago to now, it's just night and day. Davide Calabria, I'm thinking an 80 is perfect for him. I like him with the armband right now. Maybe even 81 if you are feeling generous. Maybe even, nah, maybe pushing it with 82. But I think 80 got a good enough potential on him. Still young-ish. And Calabria has been fantastic. And I only see him going up from here. Another right back is Florenzi, Euro winner with Italy, and I have no idea why we brought this guy in. I'm thinking from what I've seen, he's played a bit further up the pitch, maybe as a right winger, right midfielder, so I've given him the right back. I've put him to an 80. I think he might have been an 81. The Euro is probably gonna help his rating, but Florenzi, didn't see much of him last season, especially playing at PSG, but 80 I think is good for him. Maybe 79, maybe 81. It's around there, so I gave him in the middle at 80. Then we have Kalulu, filled in when players weren't there. I think a 70 rating is good enough for him. Got a little bit of an upgrade from last season. Still young, still can get some potential on him, and still we're gonna wait to see what he does this season. So that's why I've gone safe, giving him a 70. I think EA will do the same. Then we have Kessie, hoping he's gonna sign the contract at some point soon, but this guy, if anybody's deserving of maybe the highest rating in the club, it's got to be Kessie. I put 83.4, but I'm even thinking that maybe by some miracle EA gives him like an 85. I think that's a good enough rating for him, but 84 is what I'm sticking with. I went 83, 84. Kessie, fantastic. Just what a season he had last season, and that's why I'm hoping that he gets a big upgrade. Ismail Benacer, same thing with him, 81, 82, depending on what EA sees fit, maybe even 83, but I've gone safe, 81, 82. I think maybe 81 is what they're gonna give him. Still has room to grow. He's still young, but this guy had a fantastic season. I think 81 is a good enough overall for him. Next up, we do have Bakayoko, 79, played for Napoli last season. Didn't really see much of him, but I know that he's gonna be great for depth this season, and when he did play for Milan a couple of seasons ago, he was really great. I'm excited to see him back. It's just gonna be so good for depth in the midfield. We're gonna have so many midfielders, and I'm hoping with all the games and trying to go as far as we can in the Champions League and all that, he's going to get to see some game time. But 79 I think is a good enough rating for Bakayoko, 27 years old. Maybe a bit of growth on him, but other than that, I don't see much. Sandro Tonali, he was alright last season. Like, people have to give him time, and now what is he doing this season? We'll just have to wait and see, but scored a beautiful free kick, played a fantastic first 2 games. I think a 77 is enough for him, maybe even 78. Just can't start overrating these players. I think where his game's at right now, and he can only increase from here, gonna have bags of potential on him. You know it, probably somewhere in the high 80s, maybe 90. We'll have to see what EA gives him, maybe based on some of his performances last season, but he's really developing well, and he can only go up from here, I hope. Next, we have Brahim Diaz. Put him as a 77. He really was great and like continuing to be great. Now playing as the attacking midfielder right behind the striker. I'm looking for big things from him. Still relatively young. A 77 is good for him, considering at the beginning of the game last season, he was like a 74. So that is an upgrade for Brahim Diaz from last season. Attacking midfielder, left winger, maybe could play on the right, but 77, maybe even 78 for Brahim Diaz. He's continuing to play well and develop well. Then we have Daniel Maldini. As you can see, I put attacking midfielder, question mark. He shows some good defensive qualities. We'll just have to wait and see, but I did put him there as an attacking midfielder. We'll see what they give him, but 59, no change from last season. Didn't really do much, but he's getting some game time. I'm excited to see where he goes from here. Isn't it just amazing when you record the entire video, you edit it and everything, and you just completely forget a complete accident to put Rade Krunic. Honestly, I didn't really have much of a rating for this guy. He was decent in some games. Honestly, he's not the greatest player in the world, but he's been doing his job. 74, 75, a little bit of an upgrade from last season. Now moving on. Sorry about that for Rade Krunic. I just, for some reason, completely forgot about him, but that's the rating I would give him. Then we do have Ante Rebic. Struggled at the Euros, but had a great season with Milan. I'm thinking 81, 82. If they decide to base his performances on the Euro, then maybe it'll be a little bit lower, maybe 80. But he shouldn't be a striker. He should be a winger. So that's why I put striker. Left midfielder should have been left winger. But Rebic, I think 81. Depending on what EA think about his Euro performance, maybe they'll drop it just a little bit. But that's my rating for Ante Rebic. Now we have Rafael Leao. Leao. I don't know how to describe this guy. Like, he shows... See, that's exactly how I would describe him. But I think he still does have some good potential on him. Starting to play a little bit better this season. Inconsistent is the word I would give him. If he can find that form, if he can find that consistency, if he can play regularly and show what he's capable of, this guy can be great. I think a 77 would be good for Rafael Leao with some potential on him. Still young, still has a long way to go, but hoping for a breakout season this season, and we'll see what EA decide to give him. But I'm thinking around 77 for Rafael Leao is a good enough rating with a ton of potential. This guy's story is great. Junior Messias. I really didn't notice him at all last season when we played against Crotone. Maybe I just wasn't thinking, but apparently he had 9 goals. And this guy's story from Serie D to Serie A, signed him from Crotone. Don't know where he's gonna play. I know he did play as a second striker last season, center forward, but I know he can play on the right hand side. Maybe that's where Pioli's gonna play him. But I think a 74 for this guy, because let's face it, he's 30 years old. But like, I'm just so excited about this transfer. Maybe he's a late bloomer, but I think a 74 for him is a good enough rating. With his dribbling should be a little bit better. We'll see what EA thinks of that. Maybe they might put him as a 75 based on last season's performances, but I was looking at his rating in FIFA 21. Obviously it's still a game, so he was like a 64 to start the season or something like that, but 74, had a good season in Serie A, and I'm excited to see what Junior Messias does for Milan. Salamakers. Honestly, he's doing well, still young, can develop. 76, 77. Guess he's going to be starting on that right-hand side. I don't know much more to say. He's a decent option. We'll see what happens. Salamakers, I do like him, but... I don't know. I really don't know what rating I would give to him or EA would give to him. That's why I'm a little bit confused by this, as you can see. Let's just go with 76, 77. See what EA thinks about that. Then we have Samu Castillo. Regardless of what you feel about him, he didn't leave the club. As a player, to me, he's not my thing. I would like to see him maybe move on, but as a human being, the people that are attacking him, just that's just no. That's just no. That's just no. Okay? That's just no. All right. Castillo, 77, downgraded from last season. Moving on. Olivier Giroud, Champions League winner. I put 80, 81 because number one, 39 pace. No, that's not even close to his speed. EA, whatever. But 80, 81, maybe even 82 because of that Champions League. Like, if there's anybody that I can give maybe a little bit more than I actually put on his card, I think it belongs to Giroud. Already 2 goals this season. He's just so good off the ball as well. The smart passes, man. This guy, I always liked him as a player when he was playing in the Premier League, and when Milan signed him, I was so happy. And that's why I'm a little bit more biased towards Giroud. I've always thought he was a great striker. World Cup winner, Champions League winner, Europa League winner. Then we have Zlatan Ibrahimovic. If anybody deserves an upgrade at that age, doing that last season, 15 goals despite injuries and all that, is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Give it to him. 84. Maybe even 85. I don't think 85 because, you know, EA with age, they just don't like old players. And the fact that they still have Ibra in the 80s doesn't make sense to me. But I'm thinking 84 for Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Can't wait to see him come back from his injury, see where he'll play. Maybe with Giroud. Maybe they're going to rotate, which is going to be fantastic. And then they have the understudy, Pietro Pellegrini. Gone for 68. He's been injured a lot. Really still young, though. 20 years old, struggled with injuries in his entire career. We'll just have to wait and see, but I'm thinking a high 60s with a good enough potential, and he can learn from Zlatan and he can learn from Giroud. And that is it for all the ratings. We're just gonna run through them fast backwards. Let me know if you guys think I'm being biased or really unbiased, or do you think this is something actually EA would do, just running through the ratings. Romagnoli, it was a good decision to give him a downgrade, maybe even more than 82, maybe 81, but we'll just have to wait and see what EA does. This is my opinion. It's all opinionated, and I'm sure some of you guys will agree with this, some of you guys won't. Let me know what you think the rating should be. Like I said, guys, EA sometimes with their ratings make no sense. If it were up to me, some guys would get a little bit higher, but I tried to see what EA would do. Can't just go overrating players, putting guys like Kessie like 87. No, that's not even a thing. If you guys have enjoyed this video, you guys can leave me a like down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. FIFA 22 coming out soon. Very excited, and I will see you next time.